Don't make the mistake that so many consumers do of submitting complaints with the CFPB way before the time that you should actually do it. And I'm going to tell you exactly when that should be. But if you're looking for the fastest way or one of the fastest ways to remove your negative items, you're going to want to pay attention because we're going over the turbo credit sweep right now. And that's by going after personal information, derogatory accounts, collections, and inquiries. And we're actually going to get started with personal information. Now, you want to make sure that you put 10 days in between your personal information disputes and your bureau disputes. And there's a very, very, very simple reason for this. We need to make sure that that geographical code that attaches your personal information to your derogatory accounts has been removed. And here's the reason. 9 times out of 10, the bureaus are trying to find a reason to get rid of you as fast as possible. And one of the ways they do this is by checking to see if the account you're disputing has a geographical code that attaches that personal information to that account. And if there is, and that address is on there, then guess what? They verify it without any sort of an investigation. So we want to go and make sure that there's absolutely zero connection between the account and your personal information. And we do this by removing it. So we're going to get rid of any additional names, any misspellings, addresses that you previously lived at. Maybe you got married and you changed your name. We want to get rid of all of those different things. We're going to dispute with the bureaus and we're going to say, hey, look, this is false. I never lived there. That's not my name. That was never my name. My mom lived there. Whatever it is that you have to say to get it off. So it's false reporting and inaccurate. If they don't remove it, now we're going to go to the CFPB, failure to remove falsely reported or inaccurate information. And we're making this complaint against the credit bureaus. So we're actually going to send a copy of this complaint. We're going to go to consumerfinance.gov. We're going to create the complaint. We're going to print it. You're going to have that complaint number. You're going to put that complaint number right at the top of your letter. So let's just say that this is your letter, right? At the top of it, it's going to say complaint number, yada, yada. Then you have your personal information, the date, the bureau, your letter, your personal information. So we want to make sure that this complaint number is really apparent and it's right at the top, and send it with your actual letter. So our reason for our complaint would be automatic investigations performed by the credit bureau using personal information and failure to comply with FCRA regulations. Another thing that you can make a complaint about would be privacy violations, and we might talk about that in a further video. All right, so now we've disputed our personal information, we've taken care of that. Now it's time to dispute our derogatory accounts, okay? We're going to do factual dispute using the number 1 inaccuracy or violation. Now it's time to dispute your derogatory accounts, your late payments, your collections, your charge-offs, your repos, bankruptcy, judgments, tax liens, whatever it is. We're going to find that number 1 inaccuracy or violation, and we're going to write a dispute letter for it. If you want to know how to do that, there's plenty of other videos I have here on my channel going back 9 years. Our next dispute is going to be notice of dispute violation, which is failure to enter the required notice of dispute pursuant to FCRA 623A3. This is when you submit a dispute, the bureaus are required in that comment section of your account. So you have, like the balance, the account number, blah, blah, blah. There's a section that says comments, and they're supposed to put consumer disputes this account or something to that nature. If that's not there within 30 days from the date that they receive your first dispute, now this is a violation and they are required to remove it because this account cannot report without this notice that the account has been disputed. Another thing that you can look at is date last reported. Failure to investigate, even though they stated that it was verified, but they didn't update that status update date or date last reported to the current date when they actually verified as accurate. If this date is not updated, it means that they did not do an investigation. Other things that you can go and dispute are going to be date last paid, payment history violations, and those are also things that we can now go to the CFPB and submit an actual complaint for, because we have the proof that they actually did not enter that required notice of dispute by the 30th day after they received it. So you have your credit report 1, where you also have your tracking proving that they received it. 30 days later, on that 31st day, you pull a new credit report and prove that this notice is not there. You also can prove that even though they said that it was verified, maybe they sent, results in the mail and they said it was verified, but this date last reported wasn't updated. That proves that they did no such investigation. And then of course, when you go and you check out the date last paid, maybe the account has been reaged. That's another violation. And if you check out other parts of the payment history, such as maybe even inaccuracies. Now we actually have things that can be used against the credit bureaus instead of just going to the CFPB with some baseless claim. All right. You need to have a violation log. You need to be able to prove these things, and you can't just state it. Where is the proof? The proof is all that matters. One of the notes that I want to make before we talk about collection disputes is that if you have third-party collections, those should actually be disputed before disputing with the credit bureau. So number one, you're going to dispute with the collector. All right. 15 to 30 days later. Number two, now you're going after the CRA, the credit bureau. That's only in the event that you are using the as I call it, guaranteed deletion debt validation dispute method, or the validation of debt method. For charge-offs and all those others, yeah, you can dispute with the bureaus after you dispute your personal information. Okay, so with our collection disputes, these are direct to collector, again, using validation of debt. And then we can also go to the credit bureaus and say, hey, I disputed with the collector. Not only did they not respond to me, they also did not validate this debt. And you're reporting it, but where's the documentation that proves that you even have the right to report it? So now we have the ability to make complaints with the CFPB against both the bureaus and the collectors. So no proof of ownership plus failure to actually validate the debt. This is what I'm talking about, going to the CFPB with your proof that all of these things have occurred against you. Okay. So next we're going to talk about your inquiries. And again, there is a specific way to do this, but this is going to be the fastest way to legally and permanently remove your negative items. And we're not doing it just by going after one party. With inquiries, we need to dispute with the bureaus, and we're saying no permissible purpose. Okay. So these are actually occurring at the same time. So you're not waiting to do one after you do the other. We're doing them at the same time. We're going to the bureaus and we're saying, hey, no permissible purpose. This has nothing to do with employment, insurance, court order, yada, yada. I didn't receive a firm offer of credit. And at the same time, we're going to the data furnisher, whoever it is, maybe Capital One pulled your credit. Maybe a collector pulled your credit to see, what's going on with your finances. Where is the proof that you had the ability to pull my credit with my authorization? And where is that proof of authorization? Okay, now we can actually go and submit our complaints for no permissible purpose and for illegal reporting because it was not authorized. Now, all copies of CFPB complaints, again, are mailed with new letters to the data furnisher and to the credit bureau. This is actually part of the polyangle dispute tactic, which just means we are going and hitting them from all different sides: the bureaus, the creditors, the collectors, personal information, your inquiries, the CFPB complaints, so on and so forth. So if you need help, you don't want to do this yourself, it's too much, that's totally fine. Use the link at the top of your screen, schedule a call with me, and I'll see if I can personally do the credit sweep for you. Otherwise, there's a ton of different links to resources that can help you do this yourself. And all you gotta do is go check it out. But there's other videos that I've got here that'll help you to increase your credit score, remove your negative items, and help you move on with your life with a higher credit score. So I will see you later. Make sure to like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so, and drop me a comment and let me know what you think of this and if you've used this process before. And I will see you next time.